Okay, good morning, everybody, or good evening, wherever you are. Really, what I want to talk about here is processes for infusing change of any kind into an organization. Add-A-Kata is one of the things that we want to do, and so it's kind of an overarching context. But mostly, I'm talking about the process for change agents to use to get things into place, and Add-A-Kata certainly is a big piece of that. Our key challenge here is Lean and Add-A-Kata and other approaches to CI have what's called causal ambiguity, which means it's really hard to establish a direct link between what you're doing and the outcome. So what's it mean is we put in a lot of processes and process mechanics, and we develop teams that are quickly able to solve problems, and somehow that produces tangible business results. Now, the beauty of Add-A-Kata is there's a lot stronger direct link to those tangible business results, but we still have to work mostly on developing the teams that quickly solve problems. If we don't do that, the results are unlikely to occur. So this can make this long, expensive effort a hard sell. So as a change agent, the first thing to keep in mind is it's crucially important to have a strong sense of what you're trying to create. And that helps you keep your bearings when the waters are getting rough. So you want to maintain a picture in your mind that you can compare to what you're seeing in the organization. And that reference standard, it's a standard, right, is a point of comparison between what you see and where you're trying to go, so that you can always see the gap. Even when you're in the middle of a bunch of turmoil, you've got a direction that you want to head. So the first thing I want to do is I kind of want to quickly benchmark what that might look like so that you're on the same page I am. And if you have a different page, that's fine. I think I see two skills that are consistent across those organizations that are long-term really, really good. One is they're really good at problem solving, which is not the same as firefighting, but they're really good at methodically identifying problems, identifying obstacles that are in their way of getting where they want to go and solving them. And that is excellence in the here and now. You've all seen teams that are really good at this. Then you have the other piece, which is that they do this in a way that develops people's problem-solving skills, so that as people join the organization, they inherit the same cultural process of problem-solving that everybody else has. And that is establishing excellence in the future. So right away, what we see here is it doesn't work if you just have a small cadre of people who are going and solving all the problems every day, because they're the only ones who get good at it. Principle 3, use as much of the existing structure as you possibly can. One of my principles is make doing the new thing look like or sound like an adjustment to the old thing. If you can do this, you will make a lot more progress. If you can adopt existing language, adopt existing processes, and adjust, what I say is adjust the targeting mechanism so that maybe it's working on clumping closer to the right thing. So what do they expect to see? And work hard to make it look like that. The story here is I was working with a company and they were really into the Add-A-Kata thing. They started putting up Add-A-Kata storyboards. Then the corporate CI people came in from Chicago and they said, we don't have experimenting records. We use Kaizen newspapers. And because that was their paradigm and that's what they expected to see. So all the CI director locally did was he changed the name at the top. And he called it a Kaizen newspaper, but he kept the rest of the structure there. Oh, we don't have obstacles. We have issues. Fine. We have issues here, not obstacles. It's still the same process. Don't introduce more change than is necessary to make progress. So if they don't like the words Add-A-Kata, well, we're working to develop coaches. If they don't like experiment records, call it a Kaizen newspaper. If we don't like Kata storyboards, then we call it the daily huddle board. If the words are pushing people back, don't fret it. Use the words that they want to hear. For example, do your meetings use action items? So you can transition the format of your action item record to something that looks like the format of the experimenting record. Then we can ask different questions. So what did we plan to do at that last meeting? What did we say we were going to do? It's amazing how many meetings never go over this. What did we expect? Almost never do meetings go over this. What actually happened? What have we learned? And then use that information to inform the next step that we're going to take before the next meeting. So now we have to put a couple of rules into place. No action item goes for 3 weeks. The action item goes to what are we going to talk about on next Wednesday? And we can start to bring the mindset into an existing conversation by taking existing structure and just nudging it in the direction we want it to go. Other examples. Is there already a daily meeting where you discuss problems? Great. Incorporate the improvement kata patterns into that versus creating a new meeting. Are there already effective problem solving? Well, we use A3. Great. Introduce more effective coaching, because often organizations that may have an effective problem solving culture or problem solving structure still aren't very good at it, because it often is just the problem solver or the learner off on their own and just reporting end results. So let's bring that conversation in and let's work on checking progress on the way. Then they learn to do it more effectively. Does the organization already run 5-day rapid improvement events or Kaizen events? Awesome. Then take that format, incorporate the improvement and coaching kata format into those events. So instead of making a long list of action items, use something that looks like the experimenting record. You're still taking them through understanding the direction or challenge. That's the whole point of the event. You're still taking them through grasping the current condition, so you can adopt the starter kata for that. You're still establishing a target for where they're trying to go next. Get them to articulate it more clearly. You're still working on trying things, just structure those action items as experiments. And as the change agent or the teacher, every time you engage the team, use the coaching questions, and you are teaching them the improvement kata structure. Then Monday morning, we don't have a long list of stuff to do. We have the next experiment toward the next target condition. Now, keep the conversation going, but rather than doing it as fast as we can during the course of 5 days, we take the cadence down to that once a day process and keep going. So the objective now is to anchor an improvement storyboard and a coaching cycle rather than to fix everything in 5 days. The structure absolutely works for that. So the key point here is that it's easier to adopt existing patterns than to say, nope, those are wrong. We're going to do this new one. And the second key point is that these are all possible target conditions you as a change agent would be striving toward. So that's how to be thinking of this. Where am I trying to go? Where am I now? What's the next thing I'm going to try to put into place? And as I try to put into place, I will learn what the actual obstacles are. I will learn where the pushback is. I will learn the resistance. And then I have to engage my coaching and change agent skills to overcome those obstacles and get these changes into place.